gentlemen, and welcome to the 5th meeting of Old Dominion University's Student Government Association. This is the 87th session of Senate. Today is Tuesday, October 3rd, and the time is 3:03 p.m. So today we're going to begin with the adoption of the agenda, followed by the adoption of the previous minutes, followed by quorum, followed by the ODU-PD report, followed by old business, Senate Bill 8, the Bylaws Reconstruction Phase 3 Additions 1 bill, followed by new business, the Senate Bill 9, Bylaws Reconstruction Phase 3 Additions 2 bill, followed by the President's Vice President's report, Treasurer's report, Chief Justice report, Senate Committee reports, Advisory report, Reserve seat reports, public comments announcements, followed by adjournment. Is there a motion on the floor at this time? Yes, Senator Name.
Madam Speaker, I motion to approve the agenda.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the agenda. Is there a second? Is there any opposition? The agenda has been approved. All right, next order of business. Mr. Chief of Staff, would you mind bringing up previous minutes? Previous minutes? Good. Previous. Is this the previous minutes? Oh, just kidding. Okay. The previous minutes were set ahead of time, therefore they will not be read aloud. Is there a motion on the floor at this time? Oh, just kidding, because they're sent out beforehand. We don't need to approve them. All right, is there any questions about the previous minutes? No? Okay, therefore the minutes have been approved. Next order of business is quorum. We met quorum today at 13. And the next order of business is the ODU-PD report.
This is the only time that we get a nice round of applause. Once again, I'm Officer Andrea Pate, and I'm my partner.
Officer Evans, you guys remember me from last semester, right?
Some
Some of the faces in here are kind of new.
Got new faces.
Some of the faces in here.
Guys, we just have some safety stuff that we want to pass out and some new initiatives that we're partying with. So one of the initiatives that we're doing on campus this year, for those of you who live off campus, we are starting Party Smart. Has anybody heard of Party Smart? Okay. So what you do is go online, register your party, and a lot of people have been asking, I don't have a whole lot, a lot of people have been asking what's the benefit of Party Smart. One of the benefits is, and I'll be honest, ODU-PD, we know where we're partying. You know, everybody's walking down the street with red Solo cups to one particular address, right? You don't have to be an investigator to know that. But what Party Smart does, guys, it allows you to go online, register your party, and there's a couple of guidelines. You say, hey, I'm gonna have my party at 1313 West 59th Street. I'm gonna have my party start at 6 p.m. and it's gonna be over at 2:30. And I'm going to have 50 people. I am going to have alcohol, and for the people who are under 21, I'm going to make sure that they are not served, and they're going to have yellow wristbands on their wrist. I'm going to have a party monitor at the front door, and a couple of other things. This is the benefit of that, and like I said, and you go around and you also talk to your neighbors, and you tell them, hey, I'm going to have a party, here's my information. If it gets loud, please give me a call. And it's a way to have a guest list and keep everybody safe. Our main objective here at the police department is to make sure, you know, we know you're going to party, but the only thing we want you to do is be safe and party what?
Smart.
Absolutely. That's it.
Also, just make sure you guys, when you have a party, not saying that anybody here ever has a party, but if you ever do, what you want to do is make sure you don't post it on social media. The reason being because when you post it on social media, a lot of people are looking at it. A lot of people within the community, outside the community, and also bad guys looking at it too. You see, back in the day when my partner threw parties, because I'm a lot younger, I'm only 22, when my partner threw parties, she didn't post it on social media. She just told her friends and she told a few neighbors about it, and that was it. Nowadays, when you guys decide to throw parties, you put it on Instagram, you put it on Facebook, and hundreds and sometimes thousands of people are looking at these posts. And that's when the problem occurs. What's your name, brother? In the glasses, gray shirt. Samuel. If you post a party and 1,000 people showed up, do you have the capacity to hold 1,000 people in your yard?
No, sir.
What about 500?
No, sir.
What about 200?
No, sir.
Absolutely. Nobody does, right? So when been telling you guys to be safe and be practical. If you're gonna have a party, make sure you don't post it on social media, please. That's a lot of our headaches are coming in there. People post the parties on social media. Then you post a party, 500 people show up, there's nowhere to park at, there's no free food, right? Everybody starts getting upset, people can't get in, and that's when the problems occur. So just keep that in mind when you guys decide to party. Throughout the year, do it safely and do it responsibly. And that's what this is all about. If you register the parties, you let us know you're going to have a party, how many people you're expecting to have. That way we'll have a one-way communication with you guys. If we get a complaint, we'll call you versus showing up, right? Because you don't want us showing up, and I don't want to be at your party either. Trust me. We don't wake up saying what party I'm crashing tonight. Trust me. But if you call us and let us know there's a problem, we can work it all out. We can come over and remove those people who shouldn't be there on your behalf. Not just separate it from the issues. Versus not calling us. We get calls. We get there. There are 500 people there. Blocking's parked. Driveways are blocked. There are people out in the street. Fighting, noises. It's bleeding over into the neighborhood. Neighbors are upset. Now we have to take enforcement action because you guys simply didn't communicate with us. See the issues there? So we can work together and make sure we're being safe and we're having a good time. We want you guys to have a good time, but just do it safely. That's all. Okay?
Yeah, make sure, like I said, for those of you, make sure, because you're our eyes and ears also, make sure you really tell them about this Party Smart initiative, okay, guys? Please do that.
One more program we're going to just talk about real quick. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So I know a lot of students, they know about this, but they think it's a
What's your
trap.
name?
Tariq?
All right, Trey, go ahead.
I know a lot of students think about or know about this, but they think it's a trap. How do we communicate to them that this is not a trap, that this is like...
Exactly what we just communicated with you. We know where the parties are. It's very obvious. I can go down 42nd Street any given day and I know where the party is, right? And let's be honest, we know the party houses because they've been partying there for what? Months. I mean, anybody can figure it out. It's not.
So really, that's where you guys come in at.
Right. Yeah.
That's why we're here today. We want you to spread the word. We want you to post that on social media. Post that on Instagram. We want you to post that. Let them know if the rest of the parties is not us trying to trap them.
Right.
By the way, it's illegal to do entrapments on people. We can't do that. Right? It's us trying to make sure we know where the parties are, where the responsible parties are, and if it gets out of control, we can contact the person who registered that party and let them know what to call. Hey man, we just got a call saying you guys are being too loud. Tone it down a little bit. Right? We got a call saying you guys are blocking parking over there. Could you make sure that people aren't blocking the parking spaces? This will be done over the phone with our dispatchers versus us responding because you never posted it to us. It works out for them. Basically, you're using us to be like your personal bodyguards. You can think about it, and we're more than happy to accommodate you on that. No problem.
Yes, sir.
Does registering the parties like increase the response time of y'all? Does that help?
Yeah, because we know that you're having a party. So once you register your party online, it'll send Officer Evans and I will actually get the online printed version coming to us. And we print it out and we let our sergeants know that this is the house that's having a party. So they'll, like I said, the sergeants will have it. And it'll be a briefing and roll call with regards to that.
You're more than likely to get a courtesy call. You have an officer come by and say, hey, I'm officer blah, blah, blah. This is my sector. Let me know if you guys have any issues tonight on that note. So it's all like we're on the same page versus...
Yes, sir.
I've been to maybe like 1, 2, maybe 3 parties in my
5,
day.
6.
And what I've witnessed is that it's not always the people that are in the party, it's about the people that's outside trying to get into the party.
Bingo.
So
And you said it, I worked, sorry to cut across,
Oh,
but about 2 years ago, a lot of people, we have some seniors in here. Okay, so remember when we were having a lot of violence going on a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
People had posted their party on social media. You know, there's somebody sitting on the curb who did get in the party. So they say, okay, I didn't get in, let me shoot the place up, right? So if you register your party and you say, hey, Officer Pate, we're at capacity and I got the people that I invited are inside and I don't know who these people are, but I want them removed. We're coming.
okay.
You're fine, but the people who are removed, we're on it.
Okay.
Like he said, we're your personal bodyguards to get them removed.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, we know you're going to party, but we want you to party what? Absolutely. Now, can I say one more initiative because the speaker's about to cut us off?
No. Understand your
Okay. We're Officer Evans and our community policing, as you guys know. And we're trying to start some new initiatives. And one of the things that we did last week, we rode the bus. The Blue Loop?
Blue Route.
Blue Route,
Mhm.
Blue Route. And so we engaged a lot of our students and talked about different things that they want to see our police department do, and gave us, we asked them to rate us. But we really made a good connection with our students, and the majority of the students asked us, because they enjoyed it so much, when are we going to come back and do this again? So guys, what we would ask for you guys to do to help us out, can y'all help give us a name so we can really pitch this to our lieutenant, so we can pitch it to our chiefs as we were riding the bus, some kind of snazzy name, officers riding the Blue Route. And y'all can yeah.
She was just joking with that name. Just a joke.
Blue Bloods on the blue.
Hmm?
Blue Bloods on the blue.
Now,
Can y'all, definitely.
because if you think about it, if you look at most police departments around the country who have these services like we do, the shuttle buses and the safe rides, none of them are doing this. We're trying to do something brand new, think outside the box, and possibly post it on our video and submit it nationally.
Yeah.
You guys will be a part of that. We just want a nice, snazzy name for it and what you guys think about it. It's just us interacting with the students in a neutral environment. They're riding, we're talking, we're getting feedback from them on what they think we can do to improve relations, or to some new programs we can come up with, and the programs we have existing, what do they think about it? That's kind of what it's all about.
We're giving them our resources, letting them
Mhm.
A lot of people don't know our resources that the police department has. So guys, we ask y'all to, next couple of meetings, start shooting some names out for us, and we definitely appreciate that.
I like the boys in the blue ride. I like that.
All right, all right. Thank you.
I think we have one more question, Mrs. Vaughn.
Oh yes, I had a question about with Party Smart registration. So it's great that you guys come, but it's not always going to be you guys going to the parties. Is that correct? Like
No, it
you
won't.
specifically.
No,
Okay,
It
so
won't.
that
It's
will
different. It's different officers, different times, and different setups. Because believe it or not, we have some neighborhoods where they have parties during the daytime hours. We have some where they have, we've had that too. We have where they have some, and they register for 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. They register parties. We might not be here. We might be in another area. We might be in another state doing training. So whoever is responsible for that particular sector, versus being the sergeant or patrol officer, they'll send that particular person over to respond and make sure everything's going out. So it won't always be us. Any other questions on
That's
this?
a question. Is there a specific capacity per house, like per person? Because I was told that it was like 4 or 5 people per person that is in the house. So how would that work? Or is that a rule?
Well, that's basically up to the leaseholder, the property owner.
Okay, so we have to contact them.
Whoever the landlord is, they'll have it. It should be written in your lease.
Okay.
The maximum capacity of people that's allowed in this house at one time, because you have fire violations, fire marshal violations, you have a lot of stuff that can happen. So they have these little lines written in the lease where you have to make sure you're reading your lease clearly.
Okay.
Because some are 4 or 5, some are 15, some are 20. We just did one that I think was capacity was 25.
25.
And they had like 100-something people, and the landlord was very upset about it. So you have to read your lease very, very closely and make sure that you read the details.
Please, for those of you guys who live off campus, don't assume anything when it comes to your lease.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this particular landlord who came, and he said, guys, y'all in violation of your lease, and I can evict you right now.
On the spot.
So please pay attention to your lease to know what is in your lease. So yes, please know your lease, because we don't want to have anybody homeless, especially ODU student, because they were in violation of their lease, and they assume what they can do.
It's okay to have 300 people.
Yeah, so please know your lease, guys. Pay attention. And like I said, if you don't, maybe you can contact a friend or something and have them assist you with knowing that lease, or maybe go to all-campus housing and see if they can assist you if there's something in your lease that you don't understand. Please do. All right, guys, we have one more thing. Just one more. We're well, I'll give these to you and her, so she. Okay, ladies, we have what we call this year, if y'all familiar with the RAD class, Women's Self-Defense class. Speaker of the House is passing around to San Andrea. So, guys, young ladies, if you are interested in having a women's self-defense class, it's going to be October 17th, 18th, and 19th. The Portsmouth Room in the Web Center here. It is a free self-defense course for ladies only, and it's a 12-hour course. And for guys who are interested, please let us know, because we'll be partnering with Norfolk for you guys, so we can have a self-defense class with you. The local karate center right down there on 45th Street. And once again, this is a free one self-defense class. It is a physical class, as you see right there, that picture, that they're in here, and it is full contact. But it is a really empowering course for women. It's uplifting, so I suggest you guys, young ladies, I keep saying guys, young ladies, please take our course. Evans and I are two of the instructors, and it's free for all OU students. And if those of y'all who are in different young ladies sororities or something like that, or different groups, we can have one for you guys as well with your group. Just let us know in advance. Max capacity is 30. Max capacity is 30. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
What was the date of that?
October 17th, 18th, and 19th.
And it's on the flyer as well.
In the Portsmouth room, upstairs, Portsmouth room.
We'll be posting as well on university announcements and within the website as well, so we'll make sure you guys get it.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, MUPG. The next order of business is old business, starting with Senate Bill 8, the Bylaws Reconstruction Phase 3 Additions 1 bill. Will the chief sponsor of this bill please come forward?
I yield the floor to Chief Justice Farrell.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. There we go. Good job. So this is what we went over last week. Was there anybody that wasn't here last week when I presented? Just so I guess it may need to make sure. There we go. Were there? Okay. Did you have any other questions? Since you didn't get a chance to do that last week.
Yes, I did.
Okay. I want to go ahead. I don't want to sit here and go all the way back through the presentation. I'm not going to do that to you. So if you have any additional statements or questions, please go ahead and ask them now. Go ahead.
Can you scroll down to section a little bit more? Scroll down a little more. Yes. The point where it says the president shall appoint the executive board. I just wanted to ask for a clarification for this section.
For which section are you referring to exactly?
Section 3.
Section 3?
Mm-hmm.
Which line are you talking about? Are you talking about subsection B, where it says executive officers by appointed of the student body president?
Yes.
So that is just the directors that are appointed by the president, not the ones that are elected by the student body. And I would just separated those out. So the executive board members that are elected are in one section on the bylaws, and the directors and chief of staff are all in a separate section.
Okay.
That's it.
And any further questions for Chief Justice Ron Rugg?
So each branch has this, what you just said,
Yeah,
but each
actually,
one has their own
can you bring up document 1 for that? Do you have it queued up?
Yeah, I can bring it up real quick.
Okay, great. I can show you exactly what it'll look like. Scroll down a little bit. Keep going. Keep going.
Great.
Nope, keep going.
Sorry.
Keep scrolling. And a little too far. Go back up. All right, so go down. There you go. See, here's section 3. I'm not sure if that's right. I wish I could control. Scroll down a little bit. Keep going. All right, up. I can't tell on this page. Go to page 4 for me, please. There we go. Keep going up a little bit. All right, so right here it says section 1 numbers. It'll say executive officers by student body election. Scroll down a little bit. You'll see that it lists the 4 that are elected here, the 4 executive board members that are elected. Now the speaker is also elected, but her duties fall, and the Speaker Pro Tem fall under the legislative branch, so they're not going to be here. And the executive officers by appointment are in a separate subsection. And that's mostly just to separate what the difference is between the fact that some are appointed and some are elected. All right, any other questions? Buddy? Awesome.
Thank you, Ron. Okay, so is there no further questions for the chief's sponsor? Is there a motion on the floor at this time? Yes, Senator Terry.
Motion to enter voting procedures.
There's a motion on the floor to enter voting procedures. Is there a second? Is there any opposition? No opposition. We're going to take a rising hand vote. All in favor of vote of approving Senate Bill 8, please raise your hand. All opposed? Abstain? Okay, with 1 abstain, 1 opposed, and 13 yeas, this bill clearly passes. Chief of Staff, can you please bring up Senate Bill 9, I believe it is? Like the document itself.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I thought it was the wrong thing, my bad.
Just so you have where this stuff, or chief sponsor.
I yield the floor to Chief Justice for Owen.
Thank you, Senator Simpson. All right, so if you can pull up my PowerPoint for me. This one isn't as long as the last one, I promise. I already see the looks on it. All right, so additions part 2 was to go through the and make the additions that were discussed over the summer to some of the exec board, through some of the advisors, for Articles 3 and 4, which are your legislative and judicial branch articles. Go ahead. So we'll go over the reasons for the additions, discuss those changes being made, and if you save your questions till the end, I'll make sure that you get them all answered. Go ahead. So here are the changes that are being made, the additions that we're going to be including. Go ahead. All right, so enrollment requirement. Currently, there is no enrollment requirement, and what some of the thought process that was put into this was if we have anybody at a satellite campus that wants to be part, we discussed last year that they can become a senator if they wanted to, and they can travel if they want to, and they can do all that if they want to. They would still be required to fulfill all the duties that a normal senator would, but they would have to be physically enrolled in at least one of the campuses, and they currently it says that there's no specification on that in the bylaw, so that was added to make sure that they are included in that. So the requirements, like I said, will be just to fulfill the same thing. So they still have office hours that they have to fulfill. They still have to come to Senate meetings if they want to do that. Next slide. GPA requirements. So currently the GPA requirement is 2.0. After a lot of talk through a lot of different parties, and after doing some research on what other SGAs do across the state or nationally, the decision was that we should raise it to 2.5. Now, there are a lot of reasons as to why. The number one reason being that academics is important, and we should all be focusing on that, number one. Classes, exams, all of that. And if the minimum is at 2.0, that's barely above the at-risk threshold currently. So if we are going to be looking at what is important for a student, academics should be coming first. So raising that will create a buffer which allows for students to understand that they maybe need to take a break for a bit and get their academics back on track. Now, across the board, the GPA was raised to 2.5. The Speaker Pro Temp was like 2.25. It was 2.5 for some of the exec and not for others, so it was just made 2.5 across the board for everyone. Now, currently, how that affects you now is it doesn't really. If you are a current serving senator right now, it won't affect you. You won't have to worry about your GPA through the rest of the year unless anybody from LSI tells you that you have to worry about it. And in the bill, it'll also state, and in the bylaws, line 9, you'll see here, it says that all of these are preceded by LSI's handbook, and what they decide is the current. So this may have to change if they ever decide to change theirs. For new senators, it would apply to anybody coming in after the bill is passed. Next year, it would apply for everybody. So it gives a little bit of a grace period for everyone. Now, this doesn't mean that if you were to fall below that threshold, you're immediately out. You will have an opportunity, if you read through, you'll have a full semester to be able to correct that issue and get your GPA back up. You won't have to worry about being thrown out right away, but you only have the grace period that's given. So that is how it will impact these senators now and how it will impact senators in the future. Next slide, please. All right, legislative branch authority, it's just giving a statement. This was already kind of in the bylaws. It was just, I just separated it out, fixed the format, and added a little bit, like adding this line about the rules bill, just so that it's understood that the rules bill is what takes precedence in meetings. If there are any questions about that, we'll get to that again. Go ahead. All right, so attendance. One of the number one issues we've had this year is classes aren't always, you're not always able to schedule your classes and not miss a Senate meeting. Sometimes classes are only offered at 3 on Tuesdays, or it's only every other semester and you have to take it then. So what this does is it allows for students to be able to take that time for the class and return without having to go back through that interview process on a single semester basis. So, for example, if I was a senator and I'm not able to make it this semester because I have a class at 3 o'clock, I would be able to resign for the semester and come back without having to go back through the interview process next semester. Now that is only in the immediate following semester. You cannot wait 3 semesters and then come back. It's only the very next semester you can come back. After that, if you do not return that following semester, you will have to go back through the regular interview process. Also in here, it defines what is considered excused and unexcused. Because of that change, classes will no longer be a reason as to why you can miss them. Internships, stuff like that. So if you have those issues, or if you have, not issues, but if you have those opportunities and need to take time away from Senate, that's okay. This is creating a buffer for you. Go ahead. All right. So for judicial branch, I just updated it to match what is already going on with all the other branches. The decision was made to make Chief Justice and Justices physically in Norfolk campus, and the reason being is because of all the different councils that they have to serve on, which is housing, parking, transportation, academic integrity, all those. They need to be connected with the administration here as much as possible when doing those types of things. Also, the additions of office hours, being able to be those things that they serve on, those councils that they serve on, so that they can not always, they're already doing a lot outside of the office, that'll count as their office hours. And they would be tracked by me, and I give that report to the Chief Justice, or to the Chief Staff. Go ahead. This is, once again, all the different universities I went through, find information, and go ahead. All right, so what are the questions? Yes?
Michelle had to leave, but she just wanted to know, why did you decide to not count the GPA section towards the senators who are already senators?
So the big reason is because the bylaws are changing mid-year on that. I didn't think it was fair to start holding people to a standard that they weren't necessarily required to at the beginning. I wanted to be able to give that opportunity for people to understand that this year is their opportunity to meet that standard if they haven't, and be able to meet it next year once it comes around. Any other questions? Yes.
So if
bill is passed, will senators with class conflicts be able to resign this semester and return next semester, or do they have to wait till next year?
That will have to be something that is hashed out by the induction committee, but the intention would be yes, but that is not something that has been verified yet through all the people who are in charge of bringing senators. And then who is in charge? Ultimately, that's going to fall on Andy's. Or
Point
the
of
speaker.
information, the nominations committee is technically myself, Jordan, and Ron, and I think all three of us are in favor of that. So that's unofficial. But
I mean, we were all the ones that were. So, essentially, the intention would be yes, it would be able to be taken effect this semester. Any other questions? Yes.
For the, what was the first slide with the Senate? Like it said, has to be here physically
Can
on
you go back a
campus?
couple slides for me?
Which slide?
Keep going.
Right, the very first one.
Very first one.
No. Next, this one.
Okay.
Shall be enrolled. Does physical ODU campus? So I know you wanted to open that up to like the satellite campuses, but does that include like online classes?
No, physical campus students.
So, but technically, couldn't a person take enough credits with online classes, still live on campus? They would not. They wouldn't be.
Yes. So there are two separate categories when you're taking online classes versus distance learning. Yeah. How many people have taken an online class through the university before? Is that there's a difference between being a distance learning student and being a student that takes online classes when you're physically here, correct?
Yeah.
Web 2 versus Web 4, right?
So we're, point of information, so we are Web 2, which means we take our online classes at the Norfolk main campus. There's also Web 5 and Web 7. Web 5 is considered all of Virginia. Web 7 is considered outside of the United States. So like somebody who's like maybe in Germany wants to take a class, they would be taking it in Web 7, which wouldn't, they wouldn't fit in like the bill for like this area. Whereas we would, because we are considered taking classes online, however they're at the Norfolk main campus. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
All right, great. Any other questions?
Any further questions for the chief sponsor of this bill?
Please ask.
Take that for a look, please.
Awesome.
Okay, no further questions. Is there a motion on the floor at this time? Yes, Senator Terry.
Motion to move this bill to second reading status.
There's a motion on the floor to move this bill to second reading status. Is there a second? Is there any opposition? With opposition, we have to take a rising hand vote. All in favor of moving this bill to second reading status, please raise your hand. All opposed? Okay, we have 11 people in favor of moving this bill to second reading status and 2 opposed. This bill moves to second reading status. Yay. Next order of business. Feel like you put the agenda for me. Next order of business is the president's report. Did you get that from him?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay.
Hey everyone, so Jordan wanted me to apologize on his behalf. He is a little under the weather, so he will not be in attendance today. But he wanted me to start off by saying there's a vigil on Thursday at 6 p.m. For the recent natural disasters and the events on Monday. Also, Vice President James and I have met with Dr. Neufeld and have touched on the ideas that were brought up at the retreat, and she loved all of them. We are now in October, and the ball is picking up speed, so let's keep up the hard work. Please encourage your friends and fellow constitutes to come to Senate. And quote to end it off, put your heart, mind, and soul into the smallest acts, and this is your secret to success. So, that's Jordan's report.
Next report, Mr. Henley, you have one?
Yeah. Hey guys, Jordan and I met with financial aid yesterday, and they wanted us to inform you guys that they're hosting a town hall on October 12th in Constant Room 2100 from 12:20 to 1:20, and to also make sure you fill out your FAFSA ASAP. And then the Women's Center reached out to us saying that Zach Goen is going to be on campus on October the 11th, I believe. And he's a person who lost one of his legs. And he's like raising a 1-year-old child or one of them. And she wanted us to come out to that as well and show support. Yeah, that's it.
Next report is the treasurer's report. Thank you.
Thank you. How's everyone doing today? That's outside. Alright, next slide please. Alright, so our remaining co-sponsorship budget is $2,404. $96 was allocated to the Society of Human Resource Management Club. Next slide please. So for co-sponsorship requests, right now we have the Kappa Sigma annual car show. They requested $750, and the Indian Student Association for the Diwali festival, they requested $1,500. Next slide, please. And the co-sponsorship is approved as of now is the Society for Human Resource Management Club, and like I said, $96 was approved toward their interviewing with the pro event. Next slide, please. So currently, there are a couple transactions pending, but there hasn't really been much spending. There's going to be a lot of spending by the end of October. A lot of events are coming up, like Bigwood Take Back, Homecoming, and etc. Our remaining budget currently is $57,779.54. That's how much we have left in our SGA budget. Next slide, please. And this is the spreadsheet. And like I said, by the end of October, this is going to be updated with a lot more transactions included. And that's all I have for that.
Chief Justice, do you have a report this week?
I do. Hello, everybody. All I really want to report is I'm going to introduce one of my associate justices, Tony. He is go ahead, Sid. I'm going to have you come up here. So I can go. They're not a myth. They do exist. Just so in case you guys thought that they didn't. But I'll have him introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. I don't know what you want. So I'm Tony Woodruck. I'm technically a senior, but it's my first semester here at ODU. I'm a transfer student from TCC. I was a part of SGA over there also, so I have some experience dealing with the senators and things like that. I'm part of the Academic Integrity Council. What else? I'm on the parking committee. I'm also working with the SGA auditor to streamline auditing stuff for the clubs. And I'm in interdisciplinary studies, elementary school major, so with a minor in special ed, so that's all I got.
Thank you, guys. And the next report is, oh my gosh, mine. Okay, Senator of the Month. So the senator for this month, they responded very well to this transition period that we're in, especially, which is very important for the month of September. They showed a lot of enthusiasm for like the pre-submitted motions thing, which I'd like to see more people get excited about. Yeah, and I've really seen like a huge improvement in them from last session to this one. And I'm very, very proud of them. Mr. Connor Simpson, please come up here. Congratulations. I guess I'm putting it, but there's a note saying thank you. Okay, and then the Robert's Most Fun Fact of the Week. Who's excited? So this was in response to a conversation that Brandy and I had earlier. I figured out the answer to your question. So interruption of votes. So the conversation I had with Brandy was if you're opposed to a bill and you have explained why, after you say I'm opposed, can you say here's why? The answer is no. So Robert's Rules reads, interruptions during the taking of a vote are permitted only before any member has actually voted, unless, as sometimes occurred in ballot voting, other businesses doing transactions during voting. For points of order regarding the conduct of a vote, see page 6. So basically what that means is that when I'm like, okay, we're going to take a rising hand vote, if you point of order me and want to explain why you're opposed, before I say all in favor, raise your hands. That's totally fine. So you have to like beat me to it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't, like, if I'm like all in favor, raise your hand. Somebody's already put their hand up, that's it. You can't say it after that. Good. Awesome. That's it. Next report, please. Juwan, do you have a report this week?
I do. Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's week is going great. I just have a few things. So first, I'm going to start with a few legislation workshops, which is going to focus mainly on how to create legislation, but also how to present it. So be on the lookout for that. The next thing is attendance at Senate. I know some of you have class conflicts, which is fine, but some of you are coming in after we start Senate, and you have not told myself or Madam Speaker that you have a conflict. So please keep in mind that I do see that, and I will be talking to you specifically if that continues. Next is the nameplates and badges at Senate. Please, when you come in, get your nameplates and your name badges and put them where they should be, because that is just to keep the professionalism of Senate. Next is there should only be water in Senate, and it must be on your mat. The last thing is, I'm just kidding, the second to last thing is phones in Senate. This is your warning. If I see a phone in Senate, I will ask you to leave. Please do not argue with me. We have said many times, put your phone away in Senate. I will not be nice about it anymore. You know who you are. And the last, senators. I want to encourage you all to speak at Senate. It's starting to get to the point where the same people are entering voting procedures and approving the agenda. And we are all senators. Well, you guys are all senators. So I want to make sure that you guys are well aware of what you can and cannot do. Also, there's these little cool things on the back of your nameplate which tells you that you can approve the agenda, move the bill to second reading status. So use them.
Point of information, the senator handbooks in the office also have a lot of stuff about Robert's rules in there.
Alright, that's it. Thanks, guys.
The next report is the chief of staff report. Oh, you have a report this week?
I just want to say one quick thing.
Oh, okay.
Hey everyone, real quick, shooting for an SGA social at the end of October. If you guys could shoot me any dates that work best for y'all or any ideas that you want to see happen for a social, if you guys could do that, that'd be really appreciated. Thank you.
Next report is Secretary Julian.
No report.
No report. Okay. Next report, please. Lucas.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to formally recognize 2 student orgs today. So the representatives from those orgs, could you come up, please? The first student org that I would like to recognize is the ODU Dominoes. The ODU Dominoes is the newest musical a cappella ensemble on campus. The second one I would like to recognize is Dynamic Modeling Troupe. It is a student organization that focuses on the improvement and development of its members' modeling skills. The organization fulfills this goal by hosting programs and performances throughout the year. The organization also focuses on promoting scholarship, service, and peer support. The organization's motto is "We don't talk, we walk." As I recognize him, Vice President Hamlin, come up and take a picture of him. That's crazy.
The next report is the finance report. No report this week. Jamila, do you report?
Yes, just really quick. So how's everyone doing today?
Great.
Okay, well it's Tuesday and it's almost fall break. Basically I don't have too much. My committee is doing voter registration tables after fall break next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12:30 to 1:30 in the Web Center in like the South Mall location and then the SRC. And I'm also working on GA Day like already, so if you want to help out with that, my committee meetings are 4:15 on Thursdays in the BOD. Don't look at that. That's it.
Can you report this week? Yeah, minutes. 10 minutes tops. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, everybody's got a phone, a laptop, some form of a
We
device.
don't have our phones.
No,
Why
you
you
do
don't?
not.
You can take the survey. They can take the survey.
Oh my gosh, Woody.
Yes, you can take the survey. So pull out your phones. They're in the group chat. It's a very quick survey. Or your laptops. You can go on groupme.com. I've done it before. Did it like 10 minutes ago. It's a quick survey. It's at the bus stop. It's going to be on Killam Avenue. I had a meeting with Megan Gribble, who works in the Office of Transportation and Parking Services. Also had a meeting with Mark, whose last name I cannot remember, who also works in the Office of Transportation and Parking Services. And I talked to him about the bus stop initiative that we had. We are getting a bus stop on Killam, so whoop whoop for that. It's going to be starting happening in the, thank you for the whoop, thank you. It's going to happen, they're going to do the construction over winter break, and then it's going to be moved in the spring, in the beginning of the spring semester. So the questions are very simple. There are the last question at the bottom is asking you whether you want it on 45th Street, which is here, or you want it on 46th Street. They want it on 46 because they want to get that commuter area right over there where the lot is. I preferably want it on 45th because it's even way for both ways. 4 blocks on one side to walk, 4 blocks on the other. So choose whichever one you prefer, whichever one you think would be beneficial to students. They're really going to look at those results and really take it into consideration. Yes.
I thought the thing said 43rd or 45th Street.
It did. For those who took it, retake it. Because after I met with her, they had 46 in their head. So yeah, 45th and 46th. Just like a little note to remember, this stop, I'm kind of short, one over there by the Berry Arts Museum. Thank you. You're welcome. The one by the Berry Arts Museum, right there, it's going to be removed. That one is not going to be there anymore. There's not a lot of students getting on the bus stop at that area, so they're taking it away. These 2 stops, the one by Tropical Smoothie, and this is Cane's, I think? Yeah, those 2 are going to stay because a lot of students usually take those, but this one is going to move. And so the stop is going to go like Rogers, 49, it's either going to stop on 46 or 45th, and then it's going to continue going on its merry little way. Alrighty, any questions? Everybody take the survey. Awesome sauce. You guys have a great rest of your day. Resolution coming soon.
Next report is PR report.
Alright, so I know last week I mentioned ordering a cork board and a megaphone by submitting a contingency request, but Ron, in his amazing self, said he will purchase the cork board and find me a nice little megaphone. So shout out to Ron. Woohoo. And then we took a spirit walk last Wednesday. I'm going to type up all of those observations, discuss it with the people taking on that initiative, and then we're meeting with the VP of Finance.
October 12th.
October 12th. So after that, hopefully we'll have a resolution as well. I feel like these ain't even working, so I'm going to step to the left. So I've emailed Muhammad, so those improved ODU shirts should be ordered hopefully by the end of the week. They're long sleeves, perfect for the fall. There you go. And we're painting the Pride Rock after Senate today. I hope y'all brought some comfy clothing. Super excited to get our hands dirty. I'm not at the 420 class. But Courtney recommended the Survey Thursday event. So me and Director Lucas are going to be partnering up to kind of make it a whole SGA, mini SGA day, just focused on all the surveys and initiatives we have coming out right now. Talking about surveys and trying to start sharing the results of the surveys, because a lot of times we send it and then students don't know what happens after that. So since we already kind of been confirmed that we're getting a kiln stop, I'm going to try to promote that and let students know that's coming. I'm going to be ordering the office decorating stuff for the contest this week. As you're going through the SJ website, please send me anything that's outdated. I know James did last week, which I really appreciate. Any old photos of old branches, or if anything is just out of place, poorly worded, just please let me know so I can update it. Also, I wanted to say y'all are doing a great job. There's a few of us that were doing really well. I'm very proud of you all. And that's it for my report.
Tyler.
Sorry, my bad.
Next up. Steve, your report.
Yes. Hello, everybody. So, Housekeeping Appreciation Day is coming up November 14th. We just got Brandy made some lovely posters, so we'll be getting those printed soon, and then they'll be going up in the residence halls. Town Hall, we're going to be doing that in either the beginning, like the first or second week in November. So I just started working on it the past week, so we'll be finalizing the date and working on who will be there. Our allergen labeling legislation, we definitely need some help with. So if anyone's interested, and there's anyone interested, I'm reaching out to some student orgs, going around into Broderick and trying to find some people that are interested. If you're interested in helping write it, we do need some help. So just talk to me after Senate, or if you're interested in helping with the surveys, please talk to me after Senate as well. That's all I have.
Alright, so in my committee, we did a needs assessment that the professor and I created, and through that we created activities that students are going to use to possibly show up next semester. Also with the survey thing that Randy had mentioned, I'm working on a survey to try to see if students want to have a towel service at the gym. I talked to some of the people at the SRC to kind of figure out like how that could work and the logistics behind it. So there might be a fee, there might not be. We'll figure that out. Also, the Big Blue Take Back is next week, I believe, on the 13th. It's at 6 o'clock and it's right in front of the web. Also, I'm meeting with the wellness committee for all the administrators at the university. So like Nancy Badger, Jennifer Foster, and Bridget Neiman, and we're going to be talking about like initiatives that they're trying to have on campus and what resources we have on campus. So after that, I'll relay that information to you guys. And then yeah, my committee time is 1:30 today.
Advisors.
I bring you greetings from Leadership and Student Involvement. So a couple of announcements wanting to keep you all abreast of. We have a new initiative called the Monarch Guardian, which is a bulletin that will showcase student organizations and leaders across campus. I've been sending out forms to student org presidents that are interested in being featured in this bulletin, just showcasing your organization, some key events and programs that you sponsor throughout the year. The form will be open once a month, so if you're interested in having your if you're interested in having your organization showcased, please be on the lookout and fill out the Monarch Link form. We're only selecting one a month. And so far I've been getting about 5 to 10, so it's really hard to choose, which is awesome because that means all of your organizations are doing something great to impact the Monarch community. So be on the lookout for that. We're also doing some student org exposure fairs that will be taking place in 2 weeks. The first one is October 16th, which is specifically for identity-specific based groups. So looking at your ASA, your Caribbean Students Association, those that are specifically based on your identity. Those will exclude organizations like NESB, because they have an academic focus or something like that. Is that clear? Identity based? Okay. On the Tuesday, October 17th, that is specifically for provisional organizations and those that are affiliated with our FSL community. And then on Wednesday, October 18th, that was open to all other student organizations. However, within the first hour, the maximum capacity was reached. So I'm trying to see if I can either add another day or to kind of shift organizations around. So be on the lookout for confirmations from me. There will not be a waiting list. I will tell you that now. All of these org fairs will take place in North Mall from 11:30 to 1:30. Again, there will not be a waiting list. We are also, the university is sponsoring an Ultimate Monarch Fan Contest. So if you are all about social media and hashtagging, then they are asking that you submit a 30 to 60 second video showcasing why you're the Ultimate Monarch fan. Winners will get a chance to run through the home tunnel with the football team. They'll get a victory tailgate tumble tower. I'm not exactly sure what that is. One pair of custom ODU sneakers. I call them tennis shoes, but they're called Skicks. No clue what that is either. And then some ODU swag. But if you want more information about that, it's being promoted on Monarch Link, so check it out. And then lastly, I am hiring for a work study student to assist me in student organization workshops, because I'm kind of like having a baby next semester, so I'll be out. So just looking for somebody that is not being paid through SGA. You can be affiliated with SGA, but not receiving money for your services through SGA. So if you know anybody, or if you're interested and you are work study eligible, please see me before end of the day, because the applications are being accepted up until tomorrow at 5:00 p.m. Thank you.
Oh, wait, when was the provisional exposure day there?
Monday, October 16th.
And that's from 11 to?
11:30 to 1:30.
Okay, thank
North
you.
Mall. Oh, and I'm getting my hair done tomorrow so I can take my composite.
Oh, thank you.
Folks, hope you all are doing well. Just one thing to kind of roll around in your brain as you move forward towards the end of the week here. I'm hearing lots of great things that different pockets of SGA are doing. There's really cool things going on in this committee, or this board's meeting with this administrator and this, that, and the third. And those are really cool things to think about. Something to think about moving forward as we get further and further into the semester is what our group goals and group identity are going to be. So think about how to kind of see those connections that can be made across different pockets of the organization, and see what kind of values we have moving forward, and seeing how we can kind of get a cohesive single direction kind of going, if you're catching that. Sound good? Okay.
All right, y'all, I'll be fast. Winter is coming. Any Game of Thrones fans out there?
Winter's here.
Yes. It's getting cooler out. That means midterms are coming. So y'all are students, so get ready for those. As Chief Justice Ron Rugg shared, we are all students first, and so making sure that we're keeping our academics up. I would hate to see people lose eligibility based on grades for this semester. So make sure you're keeping your studies in mind. And on top of that, also mentioned earlier this meeting that the FAFSA is out for the next round for the next year, and that actually just opened up this week. So that is first come, first served. So if you're going to be here next year as a student and you're going to be relying on federal aid, fill that out ASAP and get that turned in. That was a lot of what do you call those acronyms? FAFSA, ASAP, all that. But just make sure you guys get that stuff done early so that you guys have a better shot at getting more money from the FAFSA, all right? Thanks, guys.
You have no? Okay.
No report.
Chelsea, do you have a report this week? No. Will? Okay. Connor.
Honestly, we're just finishing some little more logistics with our event on, on the 28th, the Halloween Fest. Just a couple of Oh. Hey everybody. IFC for our Halloween Fest, we're just finishing a little more logistics. We narrowed down the events that we're going to have attending. Those will include the coloring station, knocking over cans, mini golf, face and pumpkin painting, and beanbag tosses. We'll be inviting kids from the local neighborhoods as well as the elementary schools. I'll double check with Joey, but if any of you guys have nieces, nephews, little brothers and sisters and want to bring them out, you guys should be more than welcome to. And we're just doing this to provide a safe environment for the kids to trick or treat, get a little extra candy, do activities. Again, everybody's welcome to come, so if you guys are free, please come out and show support. Thank you.
uniforms. Also, if you have a 420 class, you may leave. Alright, so today public comments and announcements. That's crazy, I almost forgot about that. Do you have any public comments or announcements? Yes.
Brother to brother, we're having our general body meeting tomorrow from 5 to 6 in this room. So if you know anybody, male, female, that would be interested, please come out to that.
Any other? Yes, John.
Monarchy Acapella is hosting a second round of auditions. So if you know anyone or if you are interested in joining Acapella, let me know.
Any more public comments or announcements? Yes, Tyler.
This one's from Jordan. If you live in Larchmont, Lamberts Points, or Highland Park communities, please let me know at the end of the meeting. And that would be me, as in Tyler.
Any further public comments or announcements?
If you guys want to help plan Exam Jam, my committee meetings are Monday at 4:15 in the Senate Chamber. And if you know any photographers that want their photography showcase in the library, let me know. They're doing a program where all the computer screens are going to showcase photographers' work.
Any further public comments or announcements?
Oh
My goodness.
I'm sorry. This week is NPAC week, and today they have an event called Greek 101. So come out and support it.
Any further public comments or announcements? Going once. Going twice. Okay, so today we started with the adoption of the agenda, followed by the adoption of the previous minutes, followed by quorum, which was like 15 at one point. I think we're back down to 14 now. Followed by ODUPD report, then in old business, Senate Bill 8, Bylaws Reconstruction Phase 3, Additions 1 bill, followed by new business, Senate Bill 9, Bylaws Reconstruction Phase 3, Additions 2 bill, followed by the President's, Vice President's report, Treasurer's report, Chief Justice report, Senate Committee reports, Advisory reports, Reserve seat report, public comments, announcements, and is there a motion on the floor at this time? Yes, Senator Sims.
Move that we adjourn.
There's a motion on the floor to adjourn. Is there a second? Is there any opposition? We are adjourned.